Good afternoon, everyone. Today, Locksmith Eddy, Mr. Sunshine, is coming to you live down here in sunny South Florida. And today, what we have here today, we're going to do a locksmith tutorial. And what this is a Harley Davidson ignition switch about the 1940s. As you can see, we have the keys for this particular ignition switch, and we have the fork lock. This is a replacement fork lock for a 1940s Harley Davidson frame. It actually goes into the side of that, and what we're going to do is we have to make the same key fit both locks. Now, the problem we have with this particular situation here, and I'm going to put this here so we can see it. This key is an actual B1. This is a B1 blank, all right? You can see that it turns. It's brand new. This is a ignition switch from Harley Davidson. This took the Y11, a Yale key. All right, the Yale key actually fits into the ignition switch. It doesn't turn naturally. All right, but the B1, the Briggs & Stratton, does not fit into the ignition for the Harley Davidson, as you can see. So what we're going to have to do is make a common key that slides into both locks. So now that we know that the Y11 will fit into there, it'll also slide in to the ignition switch, or the fork lock switch as shown. We actually took the key, since this is a pressed fit brand new lock, we don't want to take this one apart. We're going to be taking the ignition switch apart. So as you can see, I have already cut a key on the Y11 blank. The key fits in here. It does turn it. All right, it's the same key as the B1. But now the key does fit into the ignition switch, but it doesn't turn, as you can see. So naturally, we're going to have to work on this lock, take it apart, and make the wafers fit this key. So what we'll do, we'll set all of this aside. We're actually going to take the ignition switch. We'll see right now, as you can see, as it's sitting here, the keyway is aiming in the lower position. As you can see, the key would go in there like that. So we're going to take that right here. We're going to mark it here. We're going to see that the two ends are up here on top, and we will prepare to disassemble it. It's actually in the unlocked position right now. Yes, just like that. So let's, without further ado, take it around the back. As you can see, as the keyway is facing down, turn it all the way around. You can get a picture of that as it is. You can see how the back of the terminals, there's 2 on this side and 3 on the other. It's always good to go ahead and make a little diagram of that so you have an idea as to how to put it back together. You can see this is held in with a spring-loaded pin right there like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this pin up. It's spring-loaded. Pull it back, and the brass pin that would be naturally was there is now removed. We can actually set that aside. We're going to take this off. This actually comes off just like that. You can see that. This is a 1940s Harley Davidson ignition switch. We are now going to pull the center out just like this. As you can see that comes out just like there. And I actually have the pin with the spring. We're going to keep that all together. It actually comes apart, but for now we'll just leave it like that. And now we're here. This is the back of the ignition switch. This is, or the cylinder. This is the latch that locks it in to lock that into position. We're actually just going to pull that straight out. It'll have to lock on the other side. That lock basically just pulls out just like that. So now you can see we have the ignition switch in our hand. We're actually now going to slide this out, and we will see. It looked there. You can see the plug. You can see this is the plug. This is the cylinder housing. We're actually going to try the key in there and see. As a matter of fact, you only have 1 wafer in there that is out of place. You can see that. The other 2 are nice and smooth there. I'm actually going to wipe this off just so we have a little better view. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove that wafer. That would actually be the second wafer in, so you can see that. And what we will do now is remove that wafer and move it into the other position. Now we have a wafer. There it is. We take that out just like that. Don't forget to take the spring out. We have a spring in there as well. We actually got to put this one fell out as well. Put that back in there, just like that. Put the key in. There it is. Beautiful, nice and long. We're actually going to take the another one of our tools of construction here. We're going to pull that other spring out. You don't want to leave that spring in there. Reason being, you leave that spring in there, it could flip out and lock up the cylinder, and you'll have a bad day. So we don't want to do that. Come on. Got to actually use a little pick. We're using our pick set today. We're just going to kind of peel that out. There, it's just like that. There, the cylinder is out. And I think we could probably put that wafer into another position so that we can have a few more wafers in there. You can see they didn't put many wafers in this lock. Nope, that's not going to work. I'll try putting it in the end one. Put that over here. Let's try that. Little wafers. Now we have a wafer kit. If we have to, we can just put another wafer in there from the kit. But for now, we'll just see if this is going to work. And there you have it. There you go. Beautiful. Right across there. It is in perfect shape. Now you can see right here, there's a half moon here. We're actually going to put that back together on the half moon on the housing. You can see how that's made just like that. So this is going to go right back in there like this. And we can just get it turned. Nope. Gotta push it in the other way. Goes this way. Goes up to the top. Put that last pin in there. And there's your cylinder switch, just like that. We're now going to put the housing back on it. This is going to go back down into the lock, just the way we had it taken apart. Cylinder was up and down like that. We're going to put this back down in there, just as such. Just like that, you can see that. Now we're going to put our spring-loaded unit back down in there. As such. We're actually going to pull this off. It's going to go in there just like this. Just like that. There we go. We got that in there. And now we will put the connector right there, just like that. You can see the 2 on the one side, the 3 on the other. This just spins around freely here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put this back in there. So what we have to do is, it's kind of hard to see. I can't hold the camera at the same time. But we're going to lift up on the center spring-loaded I'll show you here in a minute as soon as I get this pulled back. Oop. Can I get down on there? Just like that. Yeah, you have to pull this pin. This pin is spring-loaded right here. You pull it up back, set that connector back in there, and there we have our switch. Key switch flips around the way it's supposed to. We then put the key in, just like that, and we can lock the unit down. Just like that. And there's the, no, it's not still working. And there we go. We have it. We actually had to just turn the key the other way, and boom, you can see now it works. Switches back, put it back to the up position, and there it is. Apologize for the phone ring. There you go. That's it right there. There you go. And then we have it also fitting this lock right here. As you can see, I hope you enjoyed the video. Pick up the phone, 561-693-8636, and start keying those vintage Harley Davidson ignition switches today.